Hi, are you ready to get moving today? Today we start lying down and we're going to look at doing a little bit more with the upper body connecting into the abdominal wall today. But I want to get your back moving before we do that. So can you bring your ankles directly underneath your knees? Can you think of your knees having about a space that you could fit two of your fists into? And then let your arms relax by your side and begin by allowing your pelvis to roll backward and to roll forward. Familiar territory, I hope now. So you want to couple this with a breath. So as you exhale and you move the pubic bone to the ceiling and the lower back toward the floor, just notice how the abdominal wall engages. And then inhale as you roll the pelvis forward, let that low back arch, notice how the abdominal wall stretches. Now I want you to really exaggerate this motion. So up till now, I've had you try to restrain the movement to just the pelvis, no rib cage really joining in. Now I just want you to let your spine party. So as you exhale and the pelvis rolls back and that lower back goes into the floor, how many more backbones up your spine can you allow to find the floor? When you inhale, roll the pelvis forward and arch the lower back off the floor again, how many more backbones can come off the floor and join in? And just notice if you have any dead spots. So to try and give some context to this, maybe as you press your back into the floor, you can get to the bottom of the shoulder blades, but then you have no sense of the spine between the shoulder blades. Maybe you don't even get up that high. Maybe you get to the bottom portion of the ribs, somewhere just past the belly button, and then you're not really sure where the region of the shoulder blades is. And the same when you inhale. So it's in both directions. Is the black spot where the lights are out different in one direction to the other direction? Now, every single step you take, the spine should go through this complete range of motion. We don't see it because it happens so quickly. But if lying on the floor, you can feel that there's some dead spots in there, this would be a great movement to practice on a daily basis to really begin to work on freeing up the spine. Okay, now find middle ground for me. I want you to exhale, let the pelvis drop back so that that lower back has come into the floor. And now start to lift your pelvis, your bum up off the floor, lift your lower back off the floor, lift the back of your ribs off the floor. And maybe you come to somewhere round about your shoulder blades. We'll talk about that in a moment. Now, in shoulder bridge, it's very common to see people pushing up through the ribs like this, overarching into the back, and actually the back of the legs, the bum, doing nothing. So here's what I want you to do. Can you push your heels down into the floor and towards your toes? And you should feel yourself kind of get this little shunt up the mat. Can you feel that you've got some weight now onto that mid rib cage area just below your shoulder blades? I absolutely want you to Velcro this to the floor. You could even put your hands there. Now I want you to think of your knees trying to go past the tops of your feet beyond your toes, but without ever coming off the bottom of your shoulder blades. So it might be more of a thought than a big action. And then lastly here, can you put the pelvis into the tuck? Can you send that tailbone reaching forward, pointing up toward the ceiling? And then take a breath in at the top, exhale, and roll your back down from top to bottom, noticing all the areas that are coming down as one solid chunk. Now, if any of that was hard for you, I want you to work lower. So you're going to take the pelvis back into the tuck, the lower back to the floor. But maybe you only lift the pelvis this much where your hands can just about get under your butt. Maybe you come up a little bit higher, or maybe you're okay to come up to the base of your shoulder blades. But if you're not feeling your bum and the back of the leg switching on, you're too high right now. Now take your heels, push them down and forward. Sound familiar? So that should have shunted you back on your shoulder blades. Keep that weight and think of the knees reaching forward while we try to open the front of the hip joint. Now in this position, you want to find the tuck of the pelvis. So whether you've done all of this close to the floor, middle ground, or way up here, we're looking for the butt and the back of the legs to fire up, and for your rib cage and pelvis now to feel like they're in line with each other. Now, if that makes sense to you, maybe now there's a little more lift, but I don't ever want you to have a rib cage that's higher than your pelvis. You're almost looking for the opposite. And then take your time to roll back down. Now we're going to do it one more time because this feeds into the roll up really nicely. Like I would practice this to make that exercise better. So you want to take the pelvis, roll it back, feel your lower back come to the floor. Now maybe you just about lift the pelvis off the floor. Maybe you come middle ground, maybe you come all the way up to the bottom of the shoulder blades. You'll really have to play with that. Now get the heels to push down and forward, and this time give the knees a gentle squeeze in to really get on your big toe joints. Now staying heavy on your shoulder blades, reach the knees forward, whatever that means for you, and now take the pelvis into the tuck. Now holding on to the tuck where you should feel your bum and the back of the legs engage, maybe you can lift a little bit higher, but if your back arches or you feel it in your lower back, you're pushing your ribs higher than your pelvis. And then exhale and roll down from top to bottom. Okay, so while you have that thought fresh in your mind, tip onto one side to come on up to sitting. Now in seated, have the knees bent, toes towards the ceiling. See if you can find that just right position of heel to seat to get right up onto your sit bones. Now remember, if you're working at a slower pace, you just stay holding on to the back of the thighs. It's more important that you work with good form. But if you're okay to come with me, you're going to extend your arms forward, palms facing in towards each other. Now I want you to push your heels down and forward. Sound familiar? And what that will do is it'll shunt you back already on your pelvis. Now start to roll back. And see, where do you think you could come to without having to bring your spine down as one solid chunk? Take a breath in at your lowest point, exhale, and can you peel your bones up one bone at a time? So if you know you had some dead spots on your back, you wouldn't want to be going down that low. If you know in shoulder bridge there was like 10 bones that acted as one, then you might want to approach that area with some thought. What I like to check in on, and it helps because I'm teaching, is am I breathing? So as you're in the privacy of your own home, it can be good to count as you come down and back up. Because if you get to a place where your voice goes like this, you've definitely gone too far for where you're at right now. Okay, it should be a smooth exhale to wherever you can get to today. Quick sip of air in, and then an exhale as you pull forward. One more time. And then quick breath in, exhale, and pull forward. Good job. Okay, now lie yourself down onto your back. Interlace your fingers. Bring your hands to the back of your head, thumbs running down your neck. Bring your knees into your chest. Find the just right position for your legs. Remember, elbows are closed in, chin is angled to your chest. Exhale, curl up to the ceiling, and then forward. Now take a twist to the right, open out your elbows without falling back, extend the left leg forward. Exhale, deepen the tuck of your pelvis, curl up. Inhale, release a little. Exhale, deepen the tuck of the pelvis, curl up. Inhale, release a little. Okay, now as you continue with that, I want you to make sure that you're not coming off that left bum cheek. This is a tough movement. You've got to twist the ribs and lift them up. But you'll be pleased to know you only have 2 more. Last one. And let it release down. Okay, over to the other side. And just pull back on anything that feels like it's creating a back arch. So send the legs to your just right position, close your elbows in. Exhale, up to the ceiling, curl forward. Now encourage the pelvis to tuck back so the lower back moves to the floor, twist to the left and open the elbows. Extend the right leg out, but maybe this is an option that you don't take right now. Now as you exhale, the pelvis tucks, you lift up. Inhale, release a little. Exhale, tuck and curl up, release a little. And then check in, are you really breathing? Do you need to rein something back? Maybe that straight leg comes in. Maybe there's too much arching in one side. Last two. Last one. And let it release. All right, now from here, turn over onto your stomach. Let's find the reverse of that. Or not the reverse of that, but a way to stretch your stomach out. So right hand on top of left hand. Remember how we did this one? So place one set of knuckles on top of the other and let your forehead rest down. So pull your shoulder blades out wide. Now in this position, tail goes down and under, ribs get light on the floor. When you can feel that low back curve is lengthened, you're good to go. Inhale your head up away from your arms. We'll keep them on the floor for a moment. Exhale to come down. Now for this version, you're not looking anywhere but down at the floor. So the neck stays long, back of the head towards the ceiling. Then you're going to inhale, bring that right arm up with you, pause. Have you just pushed your tailbone to the ceiling, your ribs to the floor? Can you reverse that and come on down? Change the hand on top. Inhale, head and left arm come up. Now check. Are you keeping the pubic bone to the floor, the ribs light on the floor, and come on down? Right hand comes on top. Inhale as you come up. And exhale to come down. Change over, left hand on top. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now, depending how this is going, we can take it one step further, or you can do another round of single arm. Make sure you have that tailbone reaching for your heels, then the ribs light on the floor. Inhale, both arms, head, neck, chest come up. And then notice, have you collapsed into your lower back, pushed your ribs to the floor, and come down? So you have to perhaps collapse a little bit when you first start doing this until we build the strength. But pay attention to whether it's uncomfortable. If it is, skip it out for now and stay with one arm. Inhale, both arms come up, pubic bone stays down, ribs stay up, and release. And maybe you're just trying to make it too big. Last one. You should feel your bum engage if the pelvis is holding the right position, and come on down. Okay, now get your elbows in by the side of your body, two little fists of your hands. Try not to groan. And then shoulders really anchor down. Okay, so tail down and under, ribs up, exhale up onto your elbows and knees. Check in with your position because you really want to be in this low coffee table. Look at your forearms. Are your fists moving towards each other? See if you can open them out into two train tracks and then release yourself back and down. So we're going to go two more of those. Exhale, tuck the tail, ribs up, pull up, and then inhale to come back and down. Now, when we add on in a moment, if you feel like this is more than enough or you haven't got your form good yet, then that's fine. Don't add on to this. I just want to show you where you can go with this. Okay, so the next time that we come up, hold there. Now tuck all 10 toes under, pick up the back of the legs. Now you remember how we pushed out into the heels in that side lying exercise? That's what I want you to do. Push the heels one way, pull the head the other way, keep the tail tucked under. Now drop the knees and let yourself come back and see if you can land all as one solid piece. Last time here. So as you exhale, pull on up, tail under, ribs pull in. All 10 toes tuck under, push out through the heels, knees open up. Keep the tail under, ribs. Now check your forearms pointing straight ahead like two train tracks. Knees come down, relax your toes, land on the floor in one piece. All right, you've earned your stretch. So turn to lie on your back. Remember crescent moon? That's where we're going now. So when you're lying on your back, walk both legs to the bottom left-hand corner of your mat. Cross your right ankle over your left ankle. Take your arms to the ceiling. Left hand holds your right wrist. Arms come overhead, but remember, no back of the ribs popping off the floor. Pay close attention to that. Pick up your upper body and move it to the top left-hand corner of your mat. Inhale your leg long one way, pull out your arm long. Exhale, let it go. Stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. And let it release. And then walk over to the bottom right-hand corner, cross left ankle over right. Take hold of your left wrist. Move everything into that top right-hand corner. Leg goes long, arm pulls out long. 2 or 3 deep breaths. All right, last one. And then let it come back to center. And then however you want to finish this, whether you want to stay lying down or whether you need to get on with your day, bring your knees into your chest, rock on up to sitting. And well done you. Tick another day off the challenge, and I will see you on the mat tomorrow. Hi, I really hope you enjoyed working out with me. I'd love to send you my free 30-minute Restore Your Whole Body Pilates program. All you need to do to receive that is just click the link below in the description or pinned into the top of the comments. That will take you straight through to a page where as soon as you enter your email address, you'll be given direct access to the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That's the fastest way to get a notification every time I post a new video here. And lastly, I love to make content, but it's really helpful to me if you can leave a comment telling me what you enjoyed about this video and what other content you would like me to create. Anything that you particularly want to work on, whether it's shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, just leave me a comment. I'll check it out and I'll see what I can do. Thank you.